Hey there folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into the DC Universe Classics All-Stars Batman action figure set from Mattel. This set is part of an All-Stars wave of action figures, which followed the end of the DC Universe Classics line with Wave 20, so these figures from the All-Stars wave can be considered an unofficial Wave 21. And this All-Stars wave was first available in 2012. I got this set in 2013 when I purchased this set and all the other All-Stars figure sets from a web store called Corner Store Comics, and I paid an average price of $15 to $16 per set. Taking a look at the packaging and the figure within it, you can see that even though that the DC Universe Classics line ended with Wave 20, this All-Stars wave still used the DC Universe packaging style, actually even using the DC Universe Classics name. So kind of interesting, more reason to consider it a Wave 21. But also, within the figure, you can see this Batman figure, which is a newer style of Batman when DC Comics rebooted their comic lineup with a new universe, the New 52 universe. And this particular Batman is a Jim Lee inspired Batman. Taking a look here at the back of the packaging, you can see a picture of a prototype figure, mainly because the coloring is a little bit lighter than what's in the packaging. And here we have a biography for Batman. And below that we have an advertisement for the Matty Collector website. And at the bottom we have the 4 figures that are a part of the All-Stars wave. We have a New 52 version of Superman, Batman, and Red Robin, and Superboy Prime. Now we'll be right back and have this version of Batman out of the packaging. Okay, we're back and we have this New 52 Batman out of the packaging, and I like this figure quite a bit. It's one of the New 52 redesigns that I actually quite like from the get-go. And in figure form, it's actually quite nice and is only limited by a few QC problems, but otherwise a good overall figure. Now, as you can see, there are no accessories whatsoever with this figure, or even a collect and connect piece. The All-Stars wave is not a true DC Universe Classics wave, so it didn't have a collect and connect figure. It was just 4 figures after the end of DC Universe Classics line. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look at the figure now. And you can see the New 52 design of this figure. Let me just get into focus there. Let's see. There we go. And I believe Jim Lee had a hand in designing this New 52 Batman. And as you can see right away, it's a little different in style. The classic underoos are gone. And you have this smaller belt line and the shorter ears on this particular Batman, but still a very nice looking Batman figure. And starting off with the head, you can see again the shorter ears on the cowl, and he's got a very serious look to him, which is pretty typical of Batman. This is where one of the QC problems I've had with this figure, in that the head on this figure is really loose. It's bobbleheadish loose on here. Well, it doesn't want to be loose now, but you can see slight movement, slight push produces a lot of movement, and if you shake the figure, the head will rattle around. And it seems like it'll only really, I guess, really be stiffened if you really pull on the head of the figure upwards, and you can get it into a genuinely I guess stiff pose on there. but otherwise you really have to be careful with moving the head a little bit on this particular figure. I don't know if it's just limited to my figure or if this is a common problem with the new 52 Batmans, but just something I noticed on this figure. But still a nice sculpt on the figure, and at first I thought was a little smaller in design, but comparing it with not other 52 Batmans, but other Batman figures from the DC Universe Classics line, it's roughly the same size. It's just maybe a little bit thinner, but other than that, and I think also the ears make it look a little bit smaller. But other than that, it's generally about the same size as the DC Universe Classics Batman heads on here. Moving down on the rest of the figure, you can see the cape here is a little bit different, going over the shoulders. I believe on the DC Universe Classics figures, on the Batman figures, the cape goes over the shoulder much closer to the neck, but this one goes over the shoulder towards the edges of the shoulder, so that's pretty interesting. And looking at the cape itself, you can see it's a little bit different on the edges. The bat wing-like edges are a little bit different, and also underneath, this is basically flat black, by the way. Underneath they put a little bit of blue shading, or highlighting I should say, underneath, so that makes it a little bit different than the other Batman capes. So pretty neat. And the material on here is, I would say, medium compared to other Batman figures. Capes, other capes have been really starchy, and I haven't seen one that's very pliable, but this one's about, I would say, medium. It's pliable, yet not too hard and not too flimsy. So I guess a middle of the road type of cape design. Looking at the torso here, you can see the Batman insignia on the chest, and it's actually a nice design. It's raised from the torso as part of the sculpt, and not just painted on, which is very, very cool. So this makes this torso a brand new mold. And you can also see some lining, or I guess, I don't know if you can call it panel lining, but there is lining throughout the costume, which was typical of the new 52 costume designs I've seen, especially with Superman. But with Batman, it's not so evident. There aren't as many panel lines. You can see go mainly across the torso here, above the wing, and also right here on the pecs. I thought there was panel lining on the legs. I don't know if that's panel lining or just the musculature showing through the suit, but I thought there was lining in the comics on the legs, but I can't really see it on the legs. So moving down here, you got a new belt design with the buckle area a little bit rounded on there, and you have smaller pouches on here. And this has got sort of a metallic gold type or yellow type paint on there, which is kind of neat. And the buckle is a more goldish color, orange goldish color on the buckle there. And you can see that the pouches don't go all the way around. There's some space on the back there. On the gauntlets, it's pretty neat. You got these. I never know what these are called on the gauntlets, but you can see they're very squarish in design as opposed to curved and pointed on there. But these are really square, or I say rectangular, with points on there. And then you have this bulbous area of the gauntlet, which is specific to the new 52 design. I've never really seen it on more classic Batman figures. And you got some sculpting detail on the glove there on the underneath. And you can see that the glove hangs over the hand there, so that's kind of new there. Again, no underoos on this version of Batman. And you can see here the boot design. which is, I believe, new as well. The points are more common, but you have more sculpting detail on here on the sides and the back of the boots, which makes this more unique. And they have a nice gloss paint with the boots there, so really nice, I think, design of the Batman figure, and it's just something I've really enjoyed from the new 52. Going over articulation for this Batman, the head can go all the way around, as well as downwards and upwards. Now I don't know if this upward move range is due to the looseness of the head or not, but it can go up quite a bit, and you can also tilt it from side to side on the head. The arms at the shoulders can go all the way around if you really work around it with the cape, especially with this cape going over the edge of the shoulder there. And can go out that much and in. The biceps can go all the way around. There is a single joint at the elbow where you can bend that this far in and that far straight. And the hands can go all the way around at the wrist. The torso can bend slightly downwards. It tends to click into place there. And can go about this far back, not as far back as I'd like, but it still goes back a little bit. And the waist, the torso can go all the way around. And this belt is a separate piece and can be moved, but not as much, which is nice because when in the packaging, the buckle was off-centered on there, so but you can adjust it to move it to the center position. And the legs at the hips are in that typical DC Universe Classic style, and this one here is a little bit loose. Yeah, this one's a little bit stiffer, but this one is, you can see I can move it very easily. But allows the leg to go up about that much, down and back, and can go out to the side. And with this outward movement, it stiffens up the movement of this leg. There is a swivel cut at the thigh, allows the leg to go all the way around that way. There's a single hinge joint at the knee, so you can bend the leg that far back and this far forward. And there's a hinge joint at the ankle that allows you to move the foot downwards that much and upwards a little bit. So overall, it's pretty much your standard DC Universe Classics articulation points. Just the looseness of the joints in certain areas, especially the head and the leg here, kind of bring it down a little bit, but that could be just specific to my figure. I don't know if that's a widespread problem or not, but overall it's still a decent Batman figure, especially for the new 52 universe. This is my casual peek into the DC Universe Classics All-Stars Batman. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.